My company rarely hires Americans, and I think most American companies are going to start rarely hiring Americans here very soon. They've already started. Now, I'm not trying to be unpatriotic here, and in fact, I'm trying to help people out that are in America, because if you're watching this channel, you probably live in America, you probably are not starting a business, you're going to work at a business, and you probably want a job. I want to help you guys out. And so please give me a few seconds right here, because this is going to make sure that you keep a job. And that's my goal for you. I want to help you on this channel. And as the CEO of a company that has over 20 employees, I wanted to let you know kind of what we're looking for. So here's exactly why. And by all means, if you want to start a business or you want to be a CEO, stick around to the end. I'll show you where to get tons of courses for free that I used to make that break down how I've started all my businesses. And if you can't make it to the end of this video, you're probably suffering from one of the #1 reasons why Americans aren't going to get hired, and they're not getting hired like they used to. So look, as you've seen with Corona, working remotely is not just good, it's optimal. There's no benefit for me having my employees drive through traffic an hour to 2 hours per day. For example, my COO lived in Dallas with me when I used to live there. We could have gotten an office. I could have made him go through traffic every single day. There's no benefit for that. I like him just to be able to walk to his computer and turn it on. That also being said, now that everybody's going remote, there's no real reason not to hire in other countries. And if you're an American, a lot of times you come with a distinct disadvantage of needing way more pay without much of an advantage unless you use the things I'm going to lay out in this video. So let me just explain why we rarely hire Americans. First off, it's not because I'm against hiring Americans. I'd love to hire more Americans. The problem is that when I put out a job application, there are hundreds of countries out there, meaning we get people from all over the place. Americans usually only make up about, 10% of our applications. So there's that right off the bat right there. Another thing you might be thinking is, okay, well, you're just looking for cheaper employees. That's not the case. Really smart people can demand high wages, and we hire really smart people. So it's not a wage thing. However, that is definitely a thing for other companies. But let's imagine we got 5 applicants. One's from America. We got 4 other from other countries. Now, I'm not saying I even factor in countries at all. I just want to let you know why I consistently see Americans not do as well in their applications or resumes as people in other countries. And more often than not, it comes down to a bad cultural fit that we're not trying to force. At Hyros, we have 5 values at our company. One of these biggest ones being self-startedness, not needing to be managed at all, and then really taking care of the person next to you at the company. Those are the cores of our company. We have other ones that are more based around customers and sales and the actual product itself. A lot of times Americans fail these fits. Here's why. So first things first, we're in tech, so you would expect us to be kind of hiring Silicon Valley type people, and that's where we get a lot of applications from. The reason why we don't hire a lot of Silicon Valley type people is because people from Silicon Valley, specifically Americans, are usually mercenaries. They're usually only looking to work at a company for 2 to 3 years. At Hyros, most employees at the company have been with us for at least 3 years. Many as long as 4 to 5. We've been working on multiple companies together for a long time. We don't really have high turnover. I can't remember the last time we had someone leave the company. And I can't tell you what an incredible asset that is, because you can get someone early on who might not be as qualified and train them up in 2 to 3 months to be insanely qualified. And over 2 years, they're going to become the best #1 possible person for the job you could ever imagine. And so when we go and are hiring Americans, a lot of times they have this mercenary mindset where they're going to come on for 1 to 2 years. They don't care what company they're at. They're just trying to get something good on their resume, learn a little bit, and then bounce. That's not what we're looking for. And if you look at companies like ClickFunnels, for example, in the United States, or Shopify, while ClickFunnels is in the United States, they're based in areas that are not where you would technically be hiring tech people. And because of that, they have super low turnover because they're hiring from places outside of this mercenary mindset. Secondly, I'm sure you watch the news. Politics and outside cultural influence are huge. Look, I don't care where a person falls in politically. I do care if the person's constantly distracted and bringing in political issues into the workplace. I don't care if they're on the right. I don't care if they're on the left. We are here to build a great product for our customers and have a lot of fun doing it and take care of each other, and that's it. A lot of times, what we see with a lot of Americans coming in is they are so completely rigged by social media. They're so completely rigged by the news that, first off, there's a high risk of them causing drama at the company. Just bringing in stuff, or if something is said in the company they don't politically agree with, causing a fuss, because that's just what you do now. On the right and the left, if something is disagreeable, a very large amount of people will cause all sorts of controversy in the workplace. We don't have time for that at all. Okay? And we also don't have time to mind our P's and Q's at the company. Now, I'm not saying this is all Americans. I'm just saying it's pretty consistently. Next, we don't want people who are constantly distracted. When people are going and they're constantly on social media and dealing with all the toxicity that's going on in the news and the media and on social media. And again, I'm not leaning left or right, but people are upset all the time. This really lowers their output. I'm not saying politics don't exist in other countries. However, when we hire out of other countries, there's far less drama, there's far less controversy going on. So the person is just focused on Hyros and building up Hyros. Again, I'm not saying it's politics free, always and always. I'm not saying we're in our chats saying all sorts of crazy stuff 24/7. I'm just saying a lot of times when we go check out, for example, an American's Facebook or their Twitter, tons of politics and drama. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for that at the company. I don't care right or left. We just don't. If you go look at any of our employees' news feeds, there's very, very little. Okay, there's very, very little, and it's never dragged into work. Again, this is not unanimous. I'm just saying what I usually see pop up. A lot of times Americans are not appreciative for jobs. They feel that the job is entitled, or that the job is below them, or it's a temporary job. Sort of like the mercenary style that I talked about before. Usually what we see when we hire from outside of the US is when we bring people on, especially when we find them early, what I like to do is I like to hire people that are not so much qualified, but they're a great cultural fit and really smart. A lot of times people are signing up and they say, I don't care what it takes. I don't care the hours I have to work. I'm going to come and kick butt and I want to rise up at this company. A lot of times when we hire Americans, they're like, hey, I just got out of school. I just want a job. Don't make me work more than 7 hours a day, and don't ask me to do stuff outside of my job skill set. I routinely see that. For example, I'll constantly hire people from other countries. They want to get going right away, or we'll hire American and they start negotiating their lunch break time. For just for reference, we don't even have hours at Hyros. As long as people get results, we don't care how many hours they work. So it was that was literally brought up in the interview process. So when we were starting to hire the person, that just kind of shows you the type of mindset difference. Again, it's not unanimous, but it's pretty consistent. And a lot of the expectations just get out of hand. And while the work really doesn't improve with these expectations. Again, I'm not saying that's always. And I'm not saying we're not going to go above and beyond for our employees. That's the number one goal at our company, is to make sure our employees and their families are taken care of. We want people that really want to be there, though. And it's really, really hard to find people in America that really want to be there. It's very rare. The final thing is that with all the regulations, things going up and down in America, again, this doesn't even affect our hiring, but for a lot of companies it does. It's complicated. There are so many laws, there's so many things going up and down. With healthcare and Obamacare that released a few years ago, it just got incredibly complicated. When we're hiring people from other countries, it can be extremely simple. Just super straightforward, let's go, done, plugged in this week, easy to go. And when you look at all those things together, it's not that we aren't trying to hire Americans, not that other companies I don't think are trying to hire Americans. It's just when you have 10% of applicants being Americans, and you have other countries applying with all these things, and then a lot of times asking for less pay, it's consistently much harder to get a job. So look at these things and think about how you can counter them, and that's all I got for you. Also, guys, if you like videos like this, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I make a post about once a week that I leave up for 3 to 4 hours. It gives away all my courses that I used to sell on how to build businesses, sales and marketing, copywriting, how I built my first multi-million-dollar business. Used to sell these. I don't sell courses to beginners anymore. So I just give them away for free. But the catch is this post is only up for 3 to 4 hours a week. So if you're not like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, the algorithm probably won't show it to you. That's it. If you want to see how to excel and get more focus and work harder and yada, yada, like I talked about in this video, check out the videos after this. Dopamine detox video is the #1 key to focus. Honestly, bringing in extreme minimalism like I have helps a whole lot. And if you're really crazy, check out the nightmare mode video. That's how I can work 10 to 12 hours a day. And if you want to get a job, you want someone to hire you, if you can work like that, you will have no problem finding a job wherever you are in the world. I'll see you in the next video.